Hello. I'll be doing some barbell forearm curls today, or wrist curls, whatever you want to call them. I figured I'd just go live because I've got so many videos to edit anyways. So I don't have really a plan or a number of what I want to hit today. And these aren't like your full range of motion wrist curls. They're going to be from about parallel to the top. So they're not the full range. So I know a lot of people like to point that out, but I already understand that. So let's start with our first warm-up set. I'm gonna go grab some clips here. Make sure I got a good picture. There we go. Make sure we're even. Now this bar here is it's only 18 pounds, so right there is not, it's not very much, 68 pounds. So but it's a good warm-up set. Now my lighter sets, I'll use a more just a quick motion. When it gets heavier, I'll do a more controlled motion. And the tape is from the blisters that I got from bending all those nails the other day. It's really not too bad. I just more or less wanted to keep them protected. These plates are 44-pound plates, so it'll be 106 pounds. think the worst part is the balance aspect of it. I should probably invest in a better bench, because this one is pretty wobbly and it's only got the one bolt in the center. But it does serve its purpose, so I've kept it around. So 106 pounds. I think we'll go up to get my math skills out here. I think we got 26, 36. I think 142. These are 3 pound. So 3 pound, 10 and a 5 on each side. Think. Let's go ahead. $56. Well, $176. don't think I'm ready to go over 2, but to heck with it, we'll just try it out. So I had a 50. So we'll be at 206. Let's do a triple, 3 reps, or 2, depending on how it feels. Take a little break here for a minute. Now, if you guys come up with any ideas of things that you would like to see, like demonstrations or anything, I had somebody, they wanted to see bare hand bending, like how I do it, and just some tips to it. And I'll make that video. I'm just giving my hand a little time to heal up from the blisters I have, so I'll be making that video as soon as my hands are able to. But if you guys have any other questions or anything, I'll do my best to answer them. I will always repeat this. I'm no expert by any means, but I have done a few things. So the key is to always be learning. Don't ever think that you know everything, because that's impossible. Alright, let's give this a try here. 206 pounds. Alright, that didn't feel too bad. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't too terrible. Try to think here about where I want to go next. I do recommend writing your training down. It does help. You can't remember all these numbers. I'm kind of a sporadic person anyway, so if I don't write it down, I'm never going to remember it. it looks like last time I went about 226. So let me think if I want to go up that high just yet. And I did that on the 5th set. Yeah, so I'm a little bit behind. I added an extra warm-up set this time. There's nothing wrong with that though. I think what we'll do is, I got these little 1 1/4 plates. I'll add those. Make it about 228. And that way, you know, it's you can almost PR every workout, especially if you have like small increments like this, because as long as you're not doing the same thing constantly, I mean, you can almost PR anytime you want. Every day is different. I mean, if you're doing the same movements all the time, you know, you're gonna hit a plateau at some point. But you know, you can change, you know, your hand positioning, just anything, and you can set a PR. Plus, it changing things up keeps you fresh, and it keeps you enjoying what you're doing. You know, for me, I do like certain movements, but there comes a point where they're not as fun anymore. So, but you can change things up, make it not so mundane. So I'll try about 2 to 3 reps on this. See how it goes. I try to train forearms almost every day. It's just something I enjoy doing. If they're too sore from a workout, I will give them a day off. But I have found that they don't typically get too sore. You know, maybe I'm not working them hard enough. I don't know, but they don't get too sore too terribly often. So I'm able to train them almost every day. And it's something I enjoy doing. So you know, I have no complaints. So rest here for a minute or two, and we'll give this a go. I think the hardest part of this lift is getting it into position at the beginning. The wrists are a lot stronger, the forearms are a lot stronger than people think they are, especially like in a static hold. So I have found that if I add a few static hold sets at the end, it seems to help. So, and I've just started doing that with these barbell ones because, like I said, the hardest part for me is getting it from here to the start position. So adding those static hold sets helps me make that aspect stronger so that I can use heavier weights in the regular sets. So I think we're ready here. We'll give it a try. Go ahead and use some smelling salts here. Alright, that wasn't too bad. So look where we're gonna go next. And of course I pulled out my marker, I had my pen holding the last date that I did these. Let's see when I did these last. I forgot to share that. I normally don't do these every week. I do them. If I can find the page here, I'll let you know. I think it was quite some time ago. Okay, so I last did these 10/28/2023. So I do give myself kind of a break. I just found that doing them every week was too much. So I try to find a happy medium in there. So this seems to work. You know, you just have to play around with it yourself. You know, don't think you have to do things in it's hard to explain, but like in a calendar way. You know, like if you're not able to do a lift, like if you're sore, you know, you don't have to do that lift that day. But you'll know the difference if you're being lazy or just sore. You have to find a way to gauge it. You'll learn over time. But give yourself a break. If you're sore, you know, there's no sense in just beating yourself up constantly. And I'm not perfect, you know, I do still beat myself up quite a bit. But just find for you how many days that you need to recover. You know, you have to recover, there's no getting around it. So figure out a way to gauge the time that it takes you to recover so that you're getting stronger. And it's not going to be the same all the time, especially if you're a natural lifter. Your time to recover is going to take longer, so you have to gauge it. It's going to be different every time. One workout it may take you 5 days to recover. The next time it may take you, 10. You know, just depending on how hard you pushed it. So you just have to pay attention to that. Learn to listen to your body. So it looks like the last time I did 238. So I think that one wasn't too bad. It was 228. Let's see if we can get. It'll be 240 something, but I got to do the math here. Okay, so that's 220. Six. So a 5 and a 3. Take off the 1. I think that'll give us 242. So we've got 226 plus 10 plus 6. And forgive me if my math is off. I don't claim to be the smartest man in the world. So it should be 226, 236, 242. So 242. We'll see, last time with 238 I got, it says 6 reps, but that, I believe I did that because I thought that was going to be my final set. So I did kind of like an AMRAP with it. This time I'm not going to do that. I think I'll try to I'll aim for 2 to 3 reps. For me, 2 to 3 reps is a decent area for me to hit. So I apologize if this stream is a little boring. I just figured it'd be an easier way for me to do this because I have so many videos to edit. It takes me a while to edit videos, so I figured this would be an easier way to just get the video done. So this may not be a normal thing that I do, just depending on how many views it gets. So I mean, we'll just see. Maybe it will be a normal thing that I do. Let's take a little break. I'll kind of explain this setup a little bit. These here are they're just pads off of a old machine that I had. So I kind of just put them on there. So one, the bar isn't too low to lift it up, and two, so it doesn't crash. It doesn't make a crashing noise. You know, I don't want to irritate anybody by making a bunch of noise. So I decided that's how I do it. I did used to put like these fat grips and stuff. I'd put those there, but I don't want to ruin these. So I figured using the pads would be better. So that's just what I do now. I'm sure at some point they'll get ruined from getting smashed, but they seem to be holding up all right for now. So okay, I think we'll give this a try. That didn't feel too bad. It is starting to get heavy, but it's probably lopsided. I normally look back on my videos to see how lopsided it is, but I can't do that obviously when I'm but I did feel like it was a little bit lopsided. That's kind of the pain of using a bench that isn't attached to anything, because I have to actually measure this to make sure I'm not off, and of course it's not always perfect. So my right hand is stronger, but it seems to always lean, and I haven't really figured that out, like, as to why. And it also seems like my right hand, like the palm is shorter, so I haven't really figured that out either. I just notice it when my hand's up on the bar's in a different position than in my left hand. But it is noticeably, if you watch some of my other videos with the dumbbell wrist curls, my left hand is noticeably weaker than the right. And not really sure why that is. I mean, I'm sure that's normal, but I don't know if it's normal to the degree that mine is. I think it's almost 50 pounds stronger, so I don't know if it's taking up more of the weight on the barbell, so it's leaning that way. I'm not sure, but I mean, that could be it. But let me go ahead and see where I want to go next. It looks like I had gotten 252 for 3 reps in the past. So maybe we'll go, see if we can't get 255 maybe. You wanna push the envelope, but you don't want to go too far, because once you bend that envelope, it's bent. So you just have to kind of gauge, and especially on a movement like this, it's such a small movement that, you know, it's just like your curls. You know, you get to a point where going up 5 pounds is like, you know, especially even on grip stuff, going up 5 pounds is like going up 100 pounds. You know, you can go from lifting something easy to not moving it at all. So it does get a little difficult to gauge something like this. Plus, a lot of people don't use this as like a major lift. So, but I enjoy doing it, so I just continue to do it. We could do 256 if I add a 25. So I guess we could give that a try. See if I can't get 3 reps with it. Then we'll do a couple of down sets, static holds and down sets. The thing about training your forearms, or at least for me, once my forearms are toast, they're done. So even doing like a super lightweight, it's almost impossible. So this is a 256. Let's see if I can't push these. There we go. Almost off the back of that pad there. And the heck with it, I'm gonna measure that bench and see if I'm still. So it's not too bad. It's not perfect, but it's not too bad either. Hopefully at some point I can get a schedule down, like, you know, go live once a week or something like that. But I haven't really. I was kind of nervous on going live because it's just kind of nerve-wracking, because you know, you can't edit it, you can't take things out, or. But in doing these last couple lives, it's not too bad. So last time I did static holds with 262 and 272. So I can't really gauge what's going to happen until it happens. You know, a lot of people, they'll use percentages when they train, and you know, every day is different, so you can have an idea, but until you're actually in there doing it, you know, things can change at a moment's notice. So you have to, in my opinion, I think it's just better to do your training as you're doing it, because you're going to have to make changes as you go. You know, so a percentage just doesn't, in the real world, a percentage doesn't work. Because you're going to have days where you feel great, and you're going to have days where you feel bad. So you may have to change your training based on that. So, but that just goes with reading your body. You know, it's just a skill you have to learn on top of training, or it's a part of training. So we'll just see. We'll see what happens after I do this set here. We'll give it, you know, about a minute here. I want to make sure I'm rested for it. So I'll check it, make sure everything's even. Now the grip style that I'm using is the thumb underneath. For me, I'm just able to bend my wrist better that way. If I wrap my thumb around, it feels weird and I can't bend fully. So I just like to have my thumb underneath. So I'm sure, you know, they probably do affect different parts of the forearm, different muscles. But for me, it's a personal preference. I just feel like I get a better flex that way in my forearm. Another thing I like about these pads is you can get kind of a little bit of a, if you lower it slowly, the pad doesn't take all the weight off immediately once you touch it. So if you keep lowering it slowly, you would almost get like a negative out of it. So that is another benefit of using those. It's just something I kind of stumbled upon on accident when I started using them. So that's that wasn't too bad. But as far as the main sets, I think that's good for today. So I think we'll go ahead and do our static sets now. So that was 256. Got three little reps. You know, of course they're not the all the way down, all the way up reps. But I'm trying to get my wrist strong from here to there. So I do the other variation as well. You know, I do multiple exercises for for the forearms. So it is beneficial to do full range. So I'm not dogging on full range at all. So let me get an idea here of what I want to do now. So, I think we'll just try two. I kind of want to do about 270. But heck with it, I'll try 276. We'll add 20 pounds. This is just a static hold. So the hardest part's going to be getting it up there. But once I get it up there, just hold it for, I like to shoot for about 10 seconds. I don't always get there, but that's the range I want to shoot for. So last time I ended at 272 for the static hold. So if I get this one, I'll already have beaten my previous static hold best. So and then we'll go from there. If this set goes okay, then we'll go ahead and maybe try 280 or something, but can't tell until we actually do this one. So give it a minute here, rest up. We'll see how this one goes. I'm sorry if this one's a little boring. I just can't really think of anything to say between sets. You don't realize how long you have to rest between sets until you have to talk to people that aren't talking back. Alright, let's give it a try. Now, as I said, this is going to be a static hold, so you're not going to see any movement here besides me lifting it up. And hopefully I can get that far. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Now the goal is to build your connective tissue So you don't want to just pile on 1,000,000 pounds. So I want to do this slowly. So I think around 2 static hold sets, and then we'll do a down set. So that was our first static hold, and we'll go up to I think we'll just heck with we'll do 286. That one didn't feel too bad, but this one could feel really bad. Only time will tell. Sure, write it down here. Now for me, this is a weak point for me, this thinner barbell. I normally like to use the axle bar, but I find that, you know, it's just good to change it up so you're not getting stagnant. So I'll use the axle bar sometimes, and then I'll use this bar. But I've been trying to be more consistent with this one because it is a weak point for me, and I just feel it in different parts of my forearm. I feel like this works more my wrist, whereas the axle bar will hit the fingers, wrist, and kind of just deeper in the forearm as well. But it also depends on the rep range. If you're doing higher reps, you'll probably feel it in different areas than if you're doing lower reps. So for me, I'm doing lower reps, so I'm going to naturally feel it in different areas. So that could be it as well, but I just find that I need to train this every once in a while, because if I don't, then it just, you know, it's like any other lift, it gets weak. So for me, it's a weak point for sure. So I'm gonna keep it in the rotation. And I was also thinking about just sticking with barbells and not doing dumbbells anymore. But I enjoy doing the dumbbells, so that plan didn't really work out too long. So, and like I said, for me, it works out because I can train my forearms almost every day. So a variation of exercises, it comes in handy, so that's all right. All right, we'll give this a try. good set there. Wow. Alright, I think that's where we'll stop, and we'll do our down set. And that'll be our forearms, with the brunt of our forearm training today. I will probably do some other stuff later on, but for right now, this is our main exercise. So we ended there on the static hold 286. Last time I did 226 for a down set. So I can either try to beat the reps, which it says I got 6 reps, or I can try to beat the weight. So I think what I'll do is I'll just try to beat the reps. So we'll go down to 226 and see if I can't beat 6 reps. Try to get 7 reps. Trying to get it even there. Take a little minute here. All right. Yeah, if for your down set, if you don't take enough rest, it'll just ruin you on these, because it's such a small muscle group that once you tax it to the extreme, it's done. But again, that's my experience, so you may have a different experience. You may be able to, hit your forms constantly. But I may be the only one to use smelling salts before wrist curls. I counted 8. I could be wrong though. I'm not the brightest guy out there, but I believe I got 8 reps. I could go back on video and find out differently, but that's the major forearm lift for the day. So I'll go ahead and end this live, and hope you guys have a good day.